Welcome back to channel everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can export large datasets from PowerApps to Excel file using Power Automate, that too without using any premium connectors, that you can export tens of thousands of records in just a minute or two. As you can see in my PowerApps, I have this date range selector. If I select any of the date range, let's suppose I select from March 1st and today's date and hit the export to Excel, it takes me to the success screen and says file will be available after some times. And then if I refresh my browser, you will see that a new Excel file will be available. I can download it from here and I can delete the file as well. Once I click on download, it will save to my local drive. Once I open it, I can see the records. As of now, total 41 record has been downloaded. And if I showcase you a previous example by downloading this, save this, open this file, I have around 15,000 plus record as well that you can see. To create this kind of solution, let's just talk about how we can do it. We'll jump in directly to our PowerApps. As you can see in my export to Excel button click, I have a flow running that is export to Excel.run, and it is selecting the start date and end date I'm passing as a parameter, which is these two input fields. And I have put in an if error functions. If there is any error to this flow, it will notify me an error, else it will navigate me to the successful screen, which I've just shown you. So you can do it the way you want. If I go to my Power Automate, this is the flow for now that is integrated with this one. So we'll try to create a new flow and we'll showcase you how you can do it from scratch. I'll create from blank. We'll be using PowerApps V to trigger. Input type, I'll select a text input. I'll name it start date. Another one is end date. This is done. Next step will be, I will say where. I will initialize a variable. I'll name it start date. Type will be string. And in the value, I'll go to expression. I will say formatDateTime. I'll select the dynamic value of start date, put comma, and in the format, it will be YY hyphen MM in caps, and then DD in small, and then time will be 00 colon 00 colon 00 and then Z for a zone. So why I'm doing that is because when I will use this start date and end date into get item filters, SharePoint understand this format. So I'm formatting in this way. You can do it another way by just putting this format at the PowerApps level as well. So this is done. I'll rename it start date. Copy this to my clipboard. Next action. I'm gonna rename this as end date. Variable name will be also end date, and the format datetime value, instead of this trigger body text, will select the dynamic value, which is our end date, which is text_1. We'll validate this. This is done. I'll save it. I will have to rename this flow first. I will say export data, save it, and here it will be export data.run. That's it. Rest of the parameter will be same. This is done. Now we're gonna perform all the action to this export data flow. Next step, what I have to do is create file in OneDrive for Business. Just one thing here, I'm creating this into my OneDrive for Business because I'm using the standard connectors. If you have a premium connector access and you want to use premium connector in your project, you can create file directly in your SharePoint document library. So folder path will be in the root. I have data export folder. I'll select this. File name will be my export data underscore. I'll put some dynamic value here for the unique name, format date time, UTC now, comma, say F for the format. And then put the extension .xlsx. File content, we don't have any file content for now. Enter space because it's a military field, and that's it. Next step, Excel Online for Business. We have to create a table. I'll select the location, that is our OneDrive for Business, document library, again OneDrive for Business. File will be create file ID, that's we created just above this. Table range, so table range will be the number of column that you want to export, that you can check from your SharePoint list or whatever data source you have. And here I want to export the column title, date, customer ID, transaction type, and account balance. So in Excel, it will be cell like A, B, C, D, E, F till F. We go here. I will say $A1 colon $F1. Table name, I will say data export, and column name will be again my title, date, customer ID. So I'll put it like this: title, date, customer ID. And if we go here, it's transaction amount, transaction type, and account balance. So I'll write amount, type, and balance. Amount, type, and balance. That's it. Once this is done, what I'm going to do is I will say get items from SharePoint, select my site name. If you are using environment variable, you can choose it through environment variable as well. List name is our data export. As you can see, this is the data export list. And in the filter, I have to build a filter query. So I want to apply a filter on this date column. You can apply the filter on a created date as well generally, but for me created date is same. So I want to pick this date column. And one important thing here is you have to check the internal name of your column as well. So the display name is date, but the internal name, if you can see, it is a field 1 because I have imported this data from Excel. But if you're creating a custom list, put the display name and internal name same, that will help. So here in the filter query, I will say if field 1 is greater than equal to single quotes, and in the single quotes, I'm going to select a variable start date that we have formatted, and again field 1 is less than equal to single quotes and date. So what this filter will do, whatever range we select in our PowerApps, it will get the items from that SharePoint list between these two dates. Once this is done, next step will be I will use a select data operation. I'm using a select parameter here. Why we are doing that? Because when we'll be writing the data to Excel file, we'll need this format. So I'm using get items value, which is list of item, and in the map enter key enter value, I'm gonna switch map to text mode. Here I will create an array, and in the array what I'm gonna do is whatever value we have selected here, we're gonna select it from get items. So if we say title will be here. After that we have date customer ID, that is date. Then we put customer ID. Then we put transaction amount. So it is like transaction amount. Then will be transactions type. Then there will be one more, the last one, which is balance, account balance. This is done. Next thing what we have to do is when we create this file and this create table, it generate a unique ID for this create file and create table, and we have to get that using compose actions, which is this compose, and I will rename it as file ID. And in the expression I will paste this code, which is actually splitting the create table inputs parameter and then file with this dot and getting the first index of this value. I'll provide this code in my comments or into description as well, don't worry about that, and I'll showcase you that how it is getting the data as well. So this is done. Next step will be send an HTTP request. I'm using the Office 365 users connector, which is a standard connectors in our case. And in the URI, I'm going to use this URI, which is graph.microsoft.com version 1.0. Me is equal to users. The logged in user is drive items ID. In this case, I have to provide a dynamic item ID, so which will be get through this file ID. The output of the file ID / workbook tables. Table name will be our this create table name, which we have put it data export. Sorry. And method will be post, and in the body we'll start with curly braces, double quote, values, colon, and here we're going to put the output of select, and that's it. And in the get items, one important thing to notice here is that go to your setting on the paginations, provide the maximum limit that you can provide. Maximum is 1 lakh you can provide. I have around 15,000 data, so I have provided 20k. This is done. Save this flow. We have this new flow configured here. We'll go select the date, March 1st, end date 6, export to Excel. It says data exported completed. Go to my Power Automate, export data. If we go here, there is one retired occurred. So that is something that we are not doing it correctly. Maybe I'll go to our select property. Okay, I go to show raw output. As you can see here in the body, it should be array of values, but here we have a further array to array of object. We only need the value part of this particular, I think it is our transactions type. If we go here, go to the column setting, I'll showcase you. This is a choice type column, that's why. So for that, what we have to do is go to your flow, export data, and in the select, instead of transaction type, what I'm going to say is it is like items, and because it is field underscore 4, because the last one is field underscore 5, so it will be field underscore 4, and as we can see in the output, we have to get the value, which is actually the index 0. This is the metadata, so we're going to say 0 index of this, and out of that I'm gonna return the value. Okay, save this. Now we'll test this again. Done. It's done again. If we go here, select any of the data, export, successful. 24 seconds ago, it is succeeded. And now if you'll see the select, it is returning the proper value, and it has write data into Excel file. So there is one more step we have to do now. Go to your export data. Once this is completed, put a delay of, let's suppose, 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna say get file content of OneDrive for Business, and ID will be the create file ID, which we have created in the top, which is our this one. We want to get the content of this file. Once we have that, we're gonna say select my site address, folder path. So in my case, we go to site content, I have export data, this one. I will say this export data directly. File name will be name of the file or create file name. File content will be this get file content, which is the previous step of this one. This is done. And one important step as well, when you are creating this file, after that you can put a delay of 1 second just to avoid or give suppose time to refresh it. 2 seconds, that's it. Get item is completed. Save this flow. This is done. We have 3 entries as of now. Now if we go, suppose first export to Excel, that is completed. I'll refresh my data source, which is our export data document library. You will see we have now 4 records. This is the latest one. I save this, open. You will see we have the records around 41. We can do one more test, give it a little bit more data, export to Excel. Backend, if you will see, it is still running. One of the issue that you are seeing is it's showing export completed. That is because of, if we go here and here we can write a respond back to PowerApps. That is a step in PowerApps. So once you put this one, after that your flow will not be succeeded the way it is doing currently. But this has one issue. If you see this, remove the response action to so the flow trigger complete instantly, because once we put this, until this step is reached, the flow is not complete and you will not get this success message into PowerApps that you are getting currently. So this create issue if you are exporting data more than, let's suppose, 20 to between 20 to 50,000, and it's taking more than 2 minutes time. And if it is the limitation with this is that it has to respond back within 2 minutes. If it doesn't, then it's create issues in your flow. So to tackle that, you can use multiple ways. Either you can ask user to come back to your the screen after a minute or two, the way you want to communicate. But this is how it is. And if someone has the idea to tackle this, you can let me know as well. So this is done. And now if I refresh my data source again, hopefully this time it is completed. Yes, it is. And if we go and download, save the file, we'll have more record this time. So it's around 1400 records. And if we go to our flow, refresh it, it took 37 seconds to export 1400 records. So it's pretty much quick to write data into Excel. One more thing I want to showcase you here is that because I've used OneDrive for business, and if you're creating these solutions for businesses, the better way to is in your connection used, select any of the service account so that no matter which user is logged in, it always create the file into this service account OneDrive and use connection of that service account so that user don't have to worry about that. And it's also prevent, let's suppose you are creating a business applications for your organizations. If it is user connection, there is a limit of 90 days. If the connection is not refreshed, it's create issues. So rather better to use a service account for that. And if you want to create this kind of experience to download and delete files experience, I have created a video on that already. I'll provide link in descriptions. I hope you like this video. If you do like, don't forget to subscribe, Learn on Tech. And also I would request you to please join our channels and contribute to our success so that we can create more videos related to Power Platform and SharePoints for you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good day.